Hello and welcome to our Core 5 Taster webinar, where I'll be giving you a sneak peek of what Lexia Core5 Reading has to offer. Keep watching to find out how you can get unlimited Lexia licenses free for 30 days. So what is Lexia? Lexia is a computer-led reading skills development program designed for all ages and abilities. It is designed to deliver practice and instruction on the essential components that make up a successful reader and is made up of 3 parts. First, students get individualised computer-based learning practicing key foundational reading skills. Secondly, performance data is obtained by staff on the myLexia platform. And finally, using this data, staff are able to plan for students with next steps and printable resources. So, how does this look practically in the classroom? Let's say we have a class of 30 students logging in to the programme for the first time. The first time the students access Lexia, they will complete a diagnostic initial assessment called the auto-placement activity. Once complete, the software places the students at an appropriate level that reflects their ability. The students then continue to work independently on the software, progressing through the levels, and at any point the student experiences any difficulty, the software will branch off to provide extra support and practice in the areas that they need, only enabling the student to progress when they have mastered the skill they have been working on. If the student continues to have difficulty, Lexia provides real-time diagnostic reports directing staff to where the student is having difficulty, and a fully scripted Lexia lesson plan is provided to the teacher to support them in delivering a one-on-one or small group session. With this, a member of teaching staff can take the student to one side, while the other students are working on the computers, and provide a bespoke intervention for the student before then reintroducing them to the student programme where they can put this teaching into practice and move on. So to summarise, the blended learning approach means that you can direct your teacher time to where it's needed in the class, while the bulk of students work independently on the online programme, which is specifically tailored to them. Let's walk through the student experience step by step. When the student starts an activity in the programme, they begin in standard mode, which gives them the opportunity to practice independently without any additional help from the programme. If they can demonstrate that they have mastered the skill, great! They can move on in the programme and skill builders are made available. This makes sure that they get a chance to consolidate their learning in a pen and paper context. If they struggle with the standard step, the programme will automatically move to guided practice. This simplifies the task based on the mistakes that they made in the original activity. So in this example, we made a few mistakes with the word bat, so this is now a focus of the guided practice mode. If this is enough, the programme will automatically take them back up to standard mode. If the student still has a struggle with this simplified version of the activity, the programme will offer an additional level of support in the form of direct instruction. Here we can see explicit teaching and a flashcard activity. This makes sure that they get plenty of overlearning to overcome the difficulty they are having. In a few cases, it may be that students will continue to struggle even at this stage. Sometimes this can be corrected with some over-the-shoulder support from the teacher, but in the event that the student needs a bit more, a fully scripted Lexia lesson plan is provided for the teacher or another member of staff to deliver. Before we go into a demonstration, let's take a look at the key skills that Lexia Core5 helps students to develop. Lexia Core5 covers 6 key areas that make up a successful reader, starting with phonological awareness and going straight through to the ultimate goal of reading for meaning. In the early levels of the programme, you will see more emphasis on the more phonics-based skills, but as these become embedded later on, you will see more focus on higher order skills such as the morphology of words in structural analysis and higher order comprehension skills. So now it's time to take a look at the programme. I will aim to show you a range of the activities that will showcase the different skills and ability levels that your students can work through. We will take a look at how the programme branches to suit the needs of every individual pupil in more detail. And finally, we will take a look at the myLexia teacher platform, the administration and reporting tools it offers, and where to find all of the additional printable resources. So here we are at the student login page for Core5. So today we'll be exploring Educator Mode, which is accessible by all staff with a myLexia login. Just to be aware, students won't see everything that we're going to look at today, as they will do the initial assessment which will place them at a suitable level for them in the programme. Let's go into Educator Mode now. So here we are in educator mode, where you can see we have some more information about the programme, perfect for helping facilitate further staff training in school. The programme starts with the reception level activities in level 1 and goes right the way through to the end of year 6 skills in level 21. The top levels of the programme represent a reading age of around 15, so you can still stretch and challenge your more able students with Core 5 as well. Let's go into level 5 for our first example.
Get ready to warm up. Choose an activity to begin.
Each time a student logs on, they're presented with a quick warm-up activity to complete. This is not assessed and will not affect the reports, but gets them ready for learning and refreshes their prior knowledge. We'll skip this for now and go straight to the level, but the students won't have the ability to skip this. This is just a feature of educator mode. So here we are in the level. Each level looks similar to this, with 5 different activities split across the 6 different areas of learning. Each area is surrounded by a circle, each with a segment representing a unit. As the student progresses, these segments will fill up. The children can choose which activity they begin with and can switch between them at any time, promoting ownership of learning and independence. Once the students complete this set of activities, the second set will then be unlocked. Let's take a look at a phonics activity to demonstrate how the programme branches. You can see here that it allows us to select a specific unit. This again is a feature of educator mode. Students will simply pick up where they last left off when they access the activity.
Listen to this word. It has a short vowel sound, rap. A makes the short sound, a. Choose the letter that makes the short vowel sound you hear in the word, mat.
So we start the activity with some clear instructions and an example, and as we begin to move through the activity, visual prompts allow me to self-monitor my progress. The progress bar at the bottom of the screen can also be helpful to help staff and students monitor progress to the end of the unit. At the moment, the progress bar is displaying green, which indicates that we are working in the standard mode. I will make a few mistakes now to show you how the programme will adapt to support me.
Try again, job.
As you can see on my first mistake, no big fuss made by the programme. I'm encouraged to have another go.
Listen again, job. The short vowel sound is o, rag.
If I make another mistake, it will mean that I have less than 90% accuracy required to demonstrate mastery and move on, so we will start to see the additional levels of the support coming into play now.
Listen again, rag. The short vowel sound is a. Listen carefully. Choose the letter that makes the short vowel sound you hear in the word, d, o, g, dog.
Now, because we've made some persistent mistakes, it has taken us into guided practice. We can see that the activity has been simplified now, and the questions that come up are now based on the mistakes we made in the previous example.
B, o, x, box.
If we make a mistake at this stage, it will then take us into direct instruction mode.
Listen again, b, o, x, box. The short vowel sound is o. Listen for the vowel sound o in this word, t, o.
This mode explicitly teaches the activity and places more emphasis on the middle sound for further support.
Now listen to this word, cap. K, a, p. The short vowel sound in the word cap is not o.
Notice how lots of verbal repetition and visual cues are used here to suit different learning styles. Once we complete direct instruction, the programme will take us back to the original activity where we left off, so we can apply this independently once again. To give you an idea of how the text level progresses in the later levels of Lexia, let's take a look at a more advanced comprehension exercise in level 20. You will see at this point in the programme, the emphasis has moved away from phonics-based skills and is now building a depth of knowledge with the morphology of words, complex vocabulary, and advanced comprehension and fluency. As we go into an example of the comprehension activity, you will see that the programme begins by introducing the text.
Some animals eat other animals that eat insects, that eat plants, that need the sun to grow. Phew, that's a mouthful. No, really. It's a food web, a system of plants and animals that are connected by what they eat.
This provides students with some context of the passage, activates their prior knowledge, and keeps them engaged while they get ready to read.
It's all about you.
Different organisms are needed to make a food web work. Which type of organism sounds most interesting to you?
Now we've been introduced to the passage, you can see that the text level is much more advanced than what we saw earlier. As students move through the text at their own pace, they are able to click on any of the blue words to get a definition, helping them to build their vocabulary while they read.
Reproduce. To reproduce is to make new life.
Once they are ready to continue, they will move on to some comprehension questions. As we are in one of the top levels of the programme, you can see that they are working a lot more independently than you will see in the lower levels. However, even at this top level, the programme will still branch if I make a mistake.
Look back at the passage and find the word. Use clues inside the word to work out what it means.
Here you can see it has taken us back to the text and prompted us to use this to find the correct answer. If I continued to struggle here, it would go on to provide explicit teaching into how to identify and answer this type of question, highlighting the specific portion of the text that they need to be paying attention to. Now that we have a greater understanding of the Core5 programme, we will now take a look at the myLexia teacher platform. We will take a look at the reports and how to use these to monitor progress and when to step in with the additional resources. So here we are in myLexia. Let's take a look at some of the reporting functions in the Reading tab. I have looked into the demo site here to give you an idea of how the data will look on your side. In the Reading tab, we can see myLexia reports at the school, class and student level. We will start off with some of the whole school reports. The first graph you see is your usage data for the whole school. This represents the proportion of students that are meeting their weekly usage target. Be aware that these targets vary from student to student depending on their placement in the programme. A student working closer to their age-related targets may be targeted fewer minutes than a student that has further to go. Typically, we recommend timetabling at least 3 30-minute sessions per week, regardless of these individual targets, as this gives students enough time to fully engage with the programme. The progress chart shows where students are currently working in relation to their age-related expectation. The students in grey represent the proportion of students working below their year 11 material, the mid-blue is students working within their year 11 material, and the dark blue shows us students working above their year 11 material. To get a clear idea of the overall impact that the programme is having, you can see a comparison here of where the students were when they first started to where they are currently. The progress by usage chart shows the average number of units or skills gained by students who are meeting their usage targets compared to those who are not. This will show the correlation between strong usage and great progress. Finally, we have the predictors. This pulls together a range of data points from the students' usage and progress and provides an overview of the likelihood that students will meet their age-related work by the end of the academic year. Green are those that are on target, yellow are some risk, and red are high risk. Don't worry if you have students in the red here, it doesn't mean they're not making progress, it just may mean that some students have further to go to reach their age-related goals. Next, we'll take a look at some of the class level data, which provides a little detail of what usage and progress looks like student for student. By clicking into a class name here, we are given the class overview. In the class overview screen, we begin with some general information about the current week. We can see the student names that are in the class, the year 11 material and Lexia level that they are working on, as well as some usage and progress data for the current week. Finally, we can see the students' individual predictors displayed on the right. If a student has already met their target, you will see a tick appear instead. For an easy check-in of students in the class, we recommend focusing on the action plan tabs along the top, as these organise students based on any actions that you'll need to take. To see students that still require usage for the week, click into the Needs Usage tab, and this will display all students that still have some minutes to complete. You can see here that it automatically organises the students so that the ones that need the most minutes display at the top, allowing you to easily prioritise. Next, let's take a look at certificates, which appear under the Certificates tab each time a student meets a benchmark of a level. These display the student's name, their achievements, and provide an at-home activity for parents. You can print these off directly to present in assembly or download a digital copy to send home. Skill builders for this class are available under the Skill Builders tab. These become available once the student completes a level in the programme. Skill builders are designed to give students an additional opportunity to practice these skills in a pen and paper context. These are fantastic resources to use as an extension task for additional consolidation and can be sent home as a personalised homework activity. The final tab is arguably the most important. This is the Needs Instruction tab. This will display any students that have had a consistent struggle in the programme and provide fully scripted Lexia lesson plans based on their needs. Students will appear in this tab after 3 or more attempts without success in a single unit. Lesson plans are designed to be delivered one-on-one or in a small group by a staff member. They are fully scripted so that they have everything that they need to deliver the session successfully, including any resources needed. To get some more detail about a student and how they are working through the programme, let's take a look at some of the individual student data. Click into a student name to view the student's overview. This will display the student's usage and progress over time, details of their predictor, and the activities that they are currently accessing in the programme. For further details as to how they're working through these activities, the Skills Report button at the top will show their progress through the whole programme and details as to the activities, units they're working on, and the accuracy and rate at which they work through each of these. This report can be used to see all levels that the student has completed since starting the programme, so it is a great bank of evidence to see which skills the students have been able to demonstrate. Finally, by selecting the progress view at the top, we are able to see line graphs for each activity, demonstrating how well the student has been able to work through each of the activities. A diagonal line here shows that the student demonstrated mastery on their first attempt in each unit, so this is the ideal rate of progression. Finally, we will take a look at some of the resources available in the Resources section of myLexia. Although students will be allocated lesson plans and skill builders when they need them, you are also able to browse a full library of these resources here. You can also click into the Resources Hub link here to gain access to a host of additional resources to support further. We recommend taking a look at the Support for Instruction section here, as it has anything else that you may need when teaching reading skills in the classroom, including flashcards, fluency passages, and even writing resources. So let's recap on what we've seen so far. We have looked at Lexia's blended learning approach and the instructional model of the Core5 programme and how students are supported at all levels. We have explored a range of the activities in Core5 to get a sense of the scope and the sequence. We have explored some of the myLexia reports at the school, class and student level and how these can empower staff to evidence learning and adapt easily to differing student needs. Finally, we have looked at some of myLexia's paper-based resources and how these can be implemented to support and extend online learning. Now that you've had a glimpse into what Lexia reading skills software can do, what's next? We would like to invite you to see Lexia's impact for yourself and sign up to our free trial offer. As part of the trial, you will have unlimited, unrestricted access to the full Lexia programme for 30 days, allowing you to get a full sense of the programme in your school context. You will also be given a named Lexia software consultant, who will be there to support you every step of the way, from understanding your school's needs to training to reviewing the impact of your trial using myLexia reports. Our free trial option enables you to establish the correct size package for your school and prove the concept of Lexia with your pupils, so contact us today to get started. Get in touch by clicking the free trial button on our website and providing your school details. Alternatively, you can request a trial by emailing info@lexiauk.co.uk or give us a call on 0191 482 1939 to discuss your needs further.